Picture this. You're standing at the mouth of a tunnel that runs right underneath a 200-year-old Amish farmhouse in Holmes County, Ohio. There are no wires anywhere, absolutely no compressor, and zero thermostats. And yet, the air rushing out of this tunnel is a crisp, cool 55 degrees in the dead of August. So in this explainer, we're going to unpack exactly how a simple $300 system can keep a home incredibly cool using literally nothing but the earth beneath your feet. I mean, just look at this staggering number here, 55 degrees Fahrenheit. It sounds almost impossible to pull that off without modern mechanics, right? But this system achieves that chilling temperature using only a basic fan that draws less power than a single light bulb. The Amish have been quietly building this exact setup for 2 centuries now, which creates this massive curiosity gap. How in the world does something so incredibly simple actually outperform modern machinery? Well, the Amish have this beautiful name for it. They call it the breath of the floor. Traditionally, they use these clay pipes buried deep under the foundations of their farmhouses, allowing the outside air to travel underground, cool down, and then rise right up through the floorboards. And what really fascinates me is that the USDA actually documented this exact Holmes County system in a manual way back in 1903. But the roots go way, way deeper than that. This relies on the exact same physics that the ancient Persians used to store ice through 24-degree desert summers, literally 2,400 years ago.
All right, let's dive into Section 1, Earth's giant thermal battery. Think about dirt for a second. Because soil is incredibly dense, we're talking up to 125 pounds per cubic foot. Moving all that mass, even a single degree in temperature, takes an enormous amount of energy. It actually takes summer heat 6 to 8 weeks to penetrate just 6 feet down. Look at these ground temperatures from the Department of Energy to really see the result of that slow thermal movement. 6 feet below the surface, Chicago locks in at 55 degrees year-round. Atlanta is 62, Denver 58, Phoenix 67, Minneapolis 52, and back in Holmes County, it sits consistently right between 54 and 56 degrees. Summer or winter, extreme weather above ground simply does not matter. The Earth acts as the absolute largest thermal battery on the planet.
So, when we look at how this translates to efficiency, engineers use something called a coefficient of performance. Your standard everyday air conditioner compresses chemical refrigerants to pull about 3.5 units of cooling for every 1 unit of electricity it consumes. But check out the passive Earth tube. Measured across 47 global installations, it hits a staggering coefficient of 28.7. 28.7 versus 3.5. Honestly, that efficiency gap represents billions of dollars in equipment, electricity, and service contracts. Now, you might be wondering, okay, if this is so great, why haven't I seen this in my neighborhood? Well, you should know that the rest of the world relies on this right now. Germany actively monitors 847 residential earth tube installations. Switzerland has this massive 15-year study from the highly respected ETH Zurich, proving zero degradation in system performance over time. Even the Cambridge Public Library, right here in Massachusetts, uses 42 berry tubes to slash their energy use by up to 56%. So this isn't just some fringe experiment, it's proven global infrastructure.
Which brings us to Section 2, Buried by the Industry. The missing technology.
So why are most Americans completely in the dark about this? Well, following this historical timeline reveals a classic David versus Goliath story. In 1902, Willis Carrier invents mechanical air conditioning. And actually, scratch that, it was originally just meant to keep humidity from ruining paper in a printing plant. But by the 1920s, his company's marketing actively started labeling passive cooling as primitive. Fast forward to 2019, the ASHRAE Committee explicitly rejects earth tubes for insufficient data, despite literally decades of European proof. And in 2021, Florida building officials formally opposed recognizing passive cooling in the state code entirely.
But the real turning point, the real nail in the coffin, was this exact quote right here from a 1930 Carrier Engineering Corporation manual. Quote, "Earth contact cooling is suitable only for cellars and food storage." Boom. With just one single line in one corporate manual, an entire field of knowledge, 5,000 years of proven engineering, was virtually wiped from the minds of American architects, contractors, and building inspectors.
And if you want to understand the why here, why passive cooling was erased from architecture schools and building codes, you really just have to look at this number, $29 billion. That's with a B. That is the annual value of the U.S. residential cooling market today. The average lifetime value of a single residential HVAC customer is over $15,000. Every single earth tube installed is a compressor that never gets sold and a pricey service contract that never gets signed. And hey, remember that ASHRAE technical committee we mentioned? Well, when researchers analyzed who actually sat on Committee 6.8, they found that a whopping 67% were representatives of HVAC manufacturers. The foxes are quite literally guarding the henhouse here, ensuring that building codes standardize mechanical cooling as the only acceptable approach.
All right, let's flip the script. Section 3, the $300 DIY earth tube.
The really great news is you absolutely do not need the industry's permission to use the dirt in your own backyard. Whether you're building from scratch or retrofitting a 50-year-old home, the DIY process is surprisingly straightforward. Step 1. You dig a 6-foot deep trench running 100 to 200 feet along a side yard or a fence line. Step 2. You lay down a 6 to 8 inch diameter smooth wall pipe on a bed of sand. Now, the smooth wall is absolutely crucial here. Corrugated pipe traps moisture and breeds mold, and nobody wants that. Step 3, you give it a 2% slope so any condensation easily drains out. And finally, you cap one end with an above-ground intake screen and connect the other right to your house with a standard filter and a tiny 50 to 80 watt inline fan.
On a blazing 95-degree day, that simple setup pushes out crisp 65 to 75-degree air. But what's even more impressive, I think, is this crucial secondary benefit. It significantly dries the air out. As the hot, sticky summer air travels through that cool underground pipe, natural condensation occurs right on the pipe walls. This strips the moisture straight out of the air, dropping the humidity from an oppressive 80% down to a super comfortable sub 50%. Moving right along to Section 4, the closed-loop glycol option. This one is for the humid climates. Okay, so quick caveat here. If you live in a dry climate like Colorado or Ohio, the standard earth tube on the left works beautifully. But if you're in a highly humid coastal climate like down in Florida, pooling condensation inside an air tube becomes a really serious mold risk. And that's exactly where the closed-loop glycol system on the right comes into play. Instead of moving air, you run a sealed loop of water mixed with glycol, which is just the same antifreeze you use in your car, through the buried pipe. The liquid picks up the Earth's constant temperature and passes it through a heat exchanger inside the house. No outside air ever touches the buried pipe, which means absolutely zero risk of mold or radon. It's totally sealed.
To put this into perspective, let me tell you about a guy in rural Tennessee who built this exact glycol setup for his 1970s home. He trenched a 6-foot loop just 12 feet from his house, right under his workshop. He ran those glycol lines to an $80 fan coil he just bought online, powered by a tiny little 40-watt circulator pump. So in the summer, it dumps his home's heat into the 55-degree earth, and then in the winter, it pulls that 55-degree warmth back inside. And here's the kicker. Because it uses standard liquid fittings, it legally qualifies as standard plumbing, meaning he entirely sidestepped dealing with HVAC permits. But the financial impact is without a doubt the absolute best part of this. Before tackling this $400 weekend project, his heating and cooling bills were running him about $240 a month. Since he flipped the switch on his glycol loop, his bill for heating and cooling is exactly $0. Literally nothing. He didn't even bother to remove his old furnace or AC unit. They are still sitting right there. He just never, ever turns them on anymore. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought today. The Earth has been storing perfect, stable temperatures for billions of years, entirely for free, right under our very feet. The Amish never forgot this, and civilizations all the way from the Romans to the Native Americans relied on it. The knowledge itself didn't fail us. It was just hidden away because it wasn't profitable for the big guys. So, are you ready to stop paying for what the Earth does for free? Drop your state down in the comments. Let us know what your summer cooling bills look like, and tell us if you've got a stretch of fence line ready for a trench. Thanks so much for joining this explainer, and we will catch you next time.